Hi, everyone. Oh, no internet. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if I'm live. Okay. It said no internet. So if you're on, hello, I hope I am live. I don't know if I'm live. Okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry, we're having technical difficulties this morning. If you are there, say hello and let me know if you can hear me, please. Say hello. I'm on a little bit early, thank goodness. Our internet's been in and out all day, and I don't know why. So I had a good morning this morning. I worked out, I did some cardio, and then I went and took a nice long walk, and it was very nice, and something's buzzing. Okay, looks like I'm live. Anyway, so good morning. Yesterday I exercised. I did my full Pilates workout and my floor and core workout, and I got up off the mat and I walked over to the bike, and suddenly something went wrong in my shoulder and my neck. And I didn't even do anything. I didn't even get up funny, walk funny, nothing. And so now I think I'm getting a frozen shoulder, which I've had 3 times before, but it's been so long. And it's usually because I'm stressed, but I'm not really stressed. So I don't know what's going on here, but I can't lift my left arm. So if you're there, say hello. I don't see anybody yet, but maybe I'm looking in the wrong chat. So like I said, we've been having technical difficulties all morning. So welcome to Kim Chat Live. I'm Kim from focusyourtime.com and Focus Your Time podcast and YouTube channel. Again, say hello if you're here. Let me know if you can hear me. Today, I'm going to talk about boundary pushers. A boundary pusher is someone who disrespects our boundaries. First of all, if you don't know what a boundary is, it's something we do for ourselves, not others. We set them in order to define what we will and will not tolerate. And if you don't know how to set them, I'll give you a quick example. And I was thinking about this yesterday on one of my walks about math. And you remember the if-then statements in algebra? I loved algebra. Maybe you are not an algebra fan, but I loved it. And so kind of if 2x equals 4, then x equals 2. So if 2x equals 4, then x equals 2. So if you aren't a math genius, it's okay. Here's another example. If Johnny has 2 apples and he eats one, then Johnny will have 1 apple left. So if then statements, it's the same with boundaries. If you do this, then I will do that. But I don't usually walk around saying if then. I just say if you then, or if you, I will. So this is what you do to communicate a boundary with someone else. If you want to tell them what the boundary is, you don't have to tell them, but the request, you make a request. If you do this, and then the consequences, then I will do that. And then if you don't want to speak a boundary, you could say for the request, if this happens, then I will do this. So I could say, if you yell at me, then I will leave. That's a boundary. And that's enforcing the boundary if you walk out. Or let's say my husband's radio is squelching in the other room because he's a ham operator. I could say to myself, if his radio makes noise, then I'll leave the room. So you can take out the then if you think it sounds grammatically incorrect, which, yeah, I don't usually say them. I don't usually say them out loud. I just kind of say them in my head. So if you set a boundary and don't follow through, it's really just words that don't mean anything. So you have to follow through. And if you want to know more about setting and enforcing boundaries, reach out to me at focusyourtime.com/coaching. Okay, back to boundary pushers. Again, boundary pushers disrespect or violate our boundaries. And they won't take no for an answer, and they feel that their needs come before anyone else's. Here are some examples about what boundary pushers like to do. And I've got them written here. So I'm going to read however many I've got here. They like to guilt you into rethinking the boundaries you've set. They insist on ways of making their request work. They attempt to get you to change your mind. They remind you how your boundary may look to others. They'll tell you to stop overreacting. They refuse to acknowledge or disregard the boundary. They manipulate us into relaxing our boundaries. And they have their own way and react badly if they don't get what they want. I used to have a friend that would react really badly if I didn't want to do something. So I would set a boundary saying I didn't want to do it. And she'd get so mad, she'd literally throw a tantrum and act like a child. And it was so uncomfortable. So Terry Cole, who wrote Boundary Boss, has a term called boundary bullies. She says that boundary bullies are people who want what they want, regardless of how you feel about it. They can act in overt or covert ways to ram their agenda through. Interacting with them can be stressful and leave you feeling defeated and drained. She also says that boundary bullies can be manipulative and crafty. They will play on your guilt and perhaps imply or straight up say how selfish you are for asserting your boundary, or remind you of all they have done for you. Stay calm, state your simple request, and restate it as many times as needed. Be sure to be clear, concise, and consistent with your boundary language. Try to use I statements and stay away from shame, blame, or guilt. So I was thinking about the time, I think I mentioned it before, that I needed to have a difficult conversation with a contractor. And she wasn't doing the job she was hired for. And the last time I expressed dissatisfaction, she convinced me that everything would get better. So being a people pleaser and not wanting to cause conflict, I let it go, and it never got better. So then I decided I'm going to call her again. I'm going to let her go. So I was very nervous. I had a stomach ache. My heart was pounding. I called her up and told her that, I need to remove her from the job. And then she tried to change my mind. And so I stuck to my guns, and no matter how hard she pushed, I didn't budge. And it really was uncomfortable, but I'm so glad I did it. But it was so hard. It was so hard. I think the conversation went on for like 20 minutes, and she kept saying, I think you should reconsider. And I said, nope, I'm not. So also I talked about on the last live about people who wanted to come stay in our home. And we said, we're not going to be there. And they said, can you change your plans? So no, we couldn't change our plans. They were not happy. And then we also had people who invited us over to dinner one night, and we told them that we couldn't stay out late and we couldn't be there for a long time because we had our dog waiting at home who needed to go out. And so after appetizers, dinner, conversations, and dessert, we said we had to be on our way. And instead of letting us leave, they started talking about something else, totally ignored the fact that we were walking out the door, and wanted to show us a different project they were working on. And you know what? When we got home, our dog had an accident all over the house. So that was a great learning experience. So here are some steps to take if you encounter a boundary pusher. Stay calm. Stick to your guns, especially if they try to change your mind, like I did with the contractor. Avoid arguing with them. A good one is don't engage. And then practice scripts or canned responses in advance and write them down to keep them with you, and repeat the same thing over and over, and then be consistent. Is there anybody in the room? If you're there, please say hello. And if you're not, you can comment later. So, is it Carolyn? It's a Facebook user again, saying good morning. I know it's not Rachel because she's at work. Who are you, Facebook user? Hello. So enforcing strong boundaries can be extremely uncomfortable, but being uncomfortable is the price of growth, right? Yes, it's Carolyn. Hi. Hi, Patty. Hello, Mark. Hope you can all hear me okay. So have you guys ever experienced a boundary pusher? And if so, what did you do? Leave some comments. And even if you're watching the replay, I would love to hear if you've encountered a boundary pusher and what you did about it. And if you were successful, I would love to hear what words you said. Just let me know. So It doesn't matter if the person reacts positively or negatively when you reinforce a boundary, because we're not responsible for others' thoughts or emotions. And people get to think and feel however they want. Sometimes the only way to resolve issues is through difficult conversations. And I've had many of those. So I wrote this down. Here are some response scripts that you can practice when they push your boundary. These are good ones too. I pulled these from different places, but I know this isn't what you wanted to hear, but my mind is made up. And this one I love. I'm sorry if my decision makes things harder for you, but I'm confident you'll manage. I'm not feeling heard. I need some space. I need time to myself to decompress. If you don't respect me enough to pay back the money you owe me, I will not be going out to dinner with you again. I would appreciate if you didn't talk to others about my private life. I can see that you're worried about me, but I'm an adult and can make my own decisions. And it's okay if you're mad at me. So again, if you're watching the replay or watching it live, leave a comment. And even if it's later today or tomorrow, just leave some comments and let me know if you've dealt with boundary pushers. And all I can say is just if someone's pushing your boundary, just stick to your guns and keep repeating the same thing over and over again, and then listen to the tips that I said earlier. So, and by the way, speaking of boundaries, I'm developing what's called the Beyond Boundaries Blueprint, which is a 5-step guide showing you how to build boundaries. And for a limited time, I'll be offering it as a free download. So watch for it, and it's coming soon. And again, if boundary setting and enforcing is difficult for you, or if you're dealing with boundary pushers, I can help you because I've done it all. So if you want to chat, please reach out to me at focusyourtime.com/coaching. And that's all I've got today. That was pretty speedy. I hope that you guys could see me the whole time and hear me the whole time, because my internet, like I said, it was like 10 minutes before I got on, it said internet is down. And I thought, oh no, my live, what's going to happen? So it's fine now, but before it goes down again, I will say goodbye. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. So stay safe, and I will see you soon. Bye.